Tuesday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Former government officials and experts weigh in on President Duterte's last State of the Nation address at today's Tapatan Isang Bayan Conference. Shaila Francisco now joins us live from Taguig City to give us more details. Shaila, good afternoon. Could you give us some of the key takeaways?
Charles, for one, they are one in saying that Duterte's almost 3-hour speech during his State of the Nation address focused more on the war on drugs, the security issues, and instituting this climate of fear instead of tackling or discussing more important issues, particularly the recovery plan amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Some of the conveners actually said that Duterte failed to acknowledge the gravity of the problem, extending to other important sectors such as the education and the economy. Former Health Secretary Esperanza Cabral said that Duterte may have failed to discuss his plan because during his speech he actually said that he didn't know what to do and is leaving it up to the IATF and to God, the situation or the way out of the pandemic. Now, another hot issue that was discussed earlier was the West Philippines issue. They noted how President Duterte was contradicting himself throughout the speech. At first, he said that the Philippines is asserting the claims on the West Philippine Sea issue, but backtracked and actually went off script saying he can't do anything because China wasn't part of the arbitration. Former Justice Secretary Antonio Carpio countered these claims, actually saying China was given every opportunity to be heard throughout the arbitration. They actually said they weren't participating, but actually submitted their position paper to defend their side on the issue. And he mentioned something about China ratifying an UNCLOS agreement, saying that they allow themselves to be heard or to submit themselves to arbitration by any parties. Charles?
Right, Shaila, aside from all of that, there was also mention of failure by the president to discuss more about education and the economy. But during his SONA, he actually did mention some of his accomplishments on this front. How are the experts and former officials responding to this?
Well, Charles, on the education front, he actually doubted the passage of the Free Education Act. But as a former Education Secretary, Brother Armin Luistro pointed out, what will you do with a law if you don't have enough funds for it? He mentioned something about 27 million pesos, the lack of 27 billion pesos to actually institute or implement the free education. During his speech, he also said about providing quality education amid the pandemic. But Brother Armin Luistro pointed out also that this is far from reality. There's actually a learning crisis with some 3.5 million students who have failed to enroll last year. On the economic front, current economics professor J.C. Punong Bayan said that he failed to acknowledge the gravity of the problem, specifically that our recovery in the economic recovery is actually slow. He mentioned about misplaced priorities, including reallocating funds to more important programs such as the COVID-19 response instead of putting it into the Dolomite and other infrastructure projects. Charles?
Right, Shaila, with everything that's been said and or not said, what are some of the expectations for the next remaining months of President Duterte's term?
Well, they were actually hoping in the last remaining months of President Duterte's term that the government will infuse more funds to address the COVID-19 response. There are many ways to do it. For one, budget season is coming, so they are hoping that more funds will be allocated with the 2022 budget. And the second, while we are waiting for this, they can actually reallocate funds to the COVID-19 response, including getting funds from the Beach Nourishment Project, infrastructure projects, and other important projects that they can where they can source their funds. Now, they also want to speed up vaccination and testing so that the situation in COVID-19 will improve. Charles?
Shaila, one last question regarding Isang Bayan. Regarding the conveners, have they finally selected the candidates for next year's elections?
Charles, as of now, they are still accepting nominations, and from there they will field or examine their qualifications. As for the senatorial candidates, they said they have 24 in the list, some of which are re-electionists, and they will cut it to 14 depending on the preference of their chosen presidential candidate. But during the whole press con, they also invited or urge the public to vote and to vote a candidate that is competent, that has a vision for the country, and that is patriotic. Charles?
Thanks for that, and stay safe, Shaila. That was Shaila Francisco reporting live from Taguig. The House of Representatives immediately adjourned their session on Tuesday in honor of former President Noynoy Aquino. Deputy Majority Leader Juan Pablo Bondoc suspended the session until 3 p.m. in deference to the passing of Aquino, who is also a former lawmaker. Meanwhile, the Senate has also passed 5 resolutions expressing sympathy and condolences over Aquino's death. Senate Minority Leader Frank Drilon honored the late president for, quote, serving his country well. Drilon also lauded Pinoy's legacy when it came to economic reforms and for being the president who supposedly stood up to and beat China. Senator Kiko Pangilinan likened Pinoy's fight for Philippine sovereignty over the West Philippine Sea to the victory of Heidelin Diaz, and Pangilinan said that both wins inspire us to continue to fight for our country. Meanwhile, Senator Francis Tolentino said that his friendship with President Aquino will endure while politics will be fleeting. Alluding to his former post as MMDA chairman under Pinoy, Tolentino said that the former chief executive will, quote, fix the traffic lights as we go to heaven. Senator Ping Lacson says he and Senate President Tito Soto will be a council of 2 if they win in next year's elections. And to tell us what this means, to discuss the other issues discussed at earlier Kapihan, we have Mean Los Baños. She is reporting to us live from Mandaluyong. Good afternoon, Mean. Let's start with what does this council of 2 leadership style mean in the context of Ping and Tito Soto?
Hi, Charles. Good afternoon. Yes, basically, a council of 2. That's what how Senator Lacson would describe his presidency if he wins the 2022 elections. Council of 2 means, Charles, that he will not make huge decisions if he becomes the president of the country without consulting his vice president, that is Senate President Soto, if he also wins the 2022 elections. That's because, Charles, Senator Lacson said he trusts the discernment of the Senate President. And he also said that with the long years of experience both of them have in politics and public service, he is sure that both of them can weather all the struggles under their administration should both of them or their tandem wins in the 2022 elections. In vernacular, Charles, Senator Lacson said, kami ang may kakayanan at katapangan na humarap sa mga pagsubok ng bayan. And that is their battle cry for their 2022 bid for presidential and vice presidential positions, Charles.
Tandem indeed wins. Do we know which cabinet position Lacson is eyeing to give Soto at this point?
You know what, Charles? Some members of the media also asked that to Senator Lacson, and he said that all positions are actually open for Senate President Soto. It's up to Senate President Soto to pick which department he wants to lead. But at this early, Charles, Senate President Soto already promised Senator Lacson that if the tandem wins in the 2022 elections, Senator Soto will take care of the fight against illegal drugs so that Senator Lacson can focus on other problems of the country like the economy and the pandemic that we are facing right now, Charles.
Right, man, and I understand that Senator Ping Lacson has actually fired off a warning against his colleagues who are allegedly plotting an ouster against the Senate President. What did Lacson have to say?
I'll just give a short background there, Charles. You know, Senator Lacson and Senate President Soto got the information a few weeks ago that a couple of other senators also in the majority bloc were actually planning or attempting to oust Senate President Soto. That is why there was a rezo allegedly routed to some senators for their signatures, but obviously, Charles, that did not succeed. So Senator Lacson told the media in a press conference this morning that if there are still other senators right now attempting to unseat Senate President Soto better not do so because the Senate is really in need of a leader like Soto. That's what Senator Lacson said, because Soto is an expert in legislation and Senate rules, and also he is a perfect consensus builder, Charles.
Yeah, and we have some voters concerned that Senator Soto may actually end up neglecting some of his duties as Senate President while campaigning for next year's polls. What did he have to say about this?
Both of them, Charles, Senate President Soto and Senator Lacson, actually promised that the campaign or their election bid won't affect their Senate work. And in fact, Senate President Soto promised that he will remain to have a perfect attendance, no late and no absent, even if they have now responsibilities in their respective parties for the upcoming elections. He also explained to us that the campaign season will still be in February 2022. And when that happens, Charles, the Senate session is on break. So even if they go full force for their campaign, their work in the Senate won't be affected. He and Senator Lacson. Charles?
Yeah, man, but then things are heating up as early as now. So could you summarize for us what Lacson and Soto are eyeing as early as now as their campaign promises or platform?
Basically, 3 points, Charles. Both of them are saying that they want better disbursement and better distribution of the budget, as we have 200 to 300 unspent funds every year. And Senator Lacson said he doesn't want that to happen in his administration. So he wants that the budget won't be centralized, just like what's happening right now. And they want it distributed to municipalities, LGUs, and provinces. And he calls this program BRAVE. Also, they also want a stronger response to the pandemic and also stronger fight against illegal drugs. Charles?
And man, given that this health crisis doesn't seem to be going anywhere at the very least until before we pass governance to our new leaders, what are some of Lacson and Soto's plans to end the pandemic or to fight it at least should they win the elections?
Both of them also believe, Charles, that the quick rollout of vaccines is the way to go. And they are both willing to allot huge amount or huge budget for the vaccine rollout of the country. But Senator Lacson insists that he wants to make sure that no money will be wasted and that the money that will be allotted will really be used for the rollout and for buying vaccines. Also, Senator Lacson said they want to be prepared for a pandemic that may still last for two more or 3 years, since there are already a lot of variants that is affecting our country right now, Charles.
Thanks for that, Mean. That was Mean Los Baños reporting live from Mandaluyong. A vaccine expert panel member says people should first focus on getting their first dose before thinking about getting COVID booster shots. Dr. Ronzin Solantes said this in an interview with Radyo 5, following reports of a Chinese research that showed Sinovac's efficacy dropping for some vaccinees. Solante argued that with vaccine supply scarcity, the government should first focus on inoculating more Filipinos before discussing booster shots. And he added that while some countries have started administering a third vaccine dose, this practice is still not recommended for the general population.
I think ang magiging ano pa rin dito na sana tapusin natin yung 2 dose, lahat mabigyan ng 2 dose bago tayo mag-isip kung kailangan natin ng mag-booster. Kung kailangan man natin mag-booster, 6 months, 9 months, or after that, then pipiliin din natin, Ted, yung mga population na mababa na ang antibody na mas priority ibibigay ang booster, kagaya ng mga medyo matanda or immunocompromised.
And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.